You're watching what we're currently calling Jester Jesters Goes Viral. I call myself Jonathan Hearn. We're putting this out at about 8 p.m. on Monday the 23rd of March 2020. Normally at this time we would be live. That's live as in flesh space, something which is currently a thing of the past, but also hopefully a thing of the future. We would be normally hosting a live new material open mic comedy night downstairs at the Betsy Trotwood, London, UK, a very nice pub you should visit when you can and when it's sensible to do so. What we do there is we provide a stage for people to perform whatever they like. It's their space, it's their time to do with as they please. The only rule is there are no rules, and a strict time limit on the stage as well. What we're doing right now in this era of social distancing is we're trying to do our usual ethos, but with audio-visual media rather than live performance. Just like our little Monday show, everyone is welcome to participate just by sending us a video or some audio, something like that. This is the first time we've done this. I'm going to introduce each of our acts and then play their submission. Each act gets around 5 minutes. The plan is to release a new compilation every Monday at 8 p.m. GMT/BST. One thing that's particularly vexing about everything at the moment is I can't think what Simpsons episode it's like. There you go, that's the sort of thing I'd be saying on stage right now. Now, before I introduce our first act, here's a few little bits from me, starting with a tribute to BBC's health correspondent, Dominic Hughes.
Dominic Hughes, BBC News.
Cuthbert Dibble Grubb.
There you go. If you enjoyed that, then you're showing your age a bit. Or maybe you're curious. Or maybe both. Or neither. Who cares? Here's social media right after the pandemic. There you go. And one more bit from me, a little filmette. One morning before school, when I was around 12 years old, I looked at myself in the mirror. I found myself wondering whether it would be possible to see multiple future versions of myself staring back through some kind of tear in space-time. I imagined their faces, each visibly older than the last, each from a different era, each seeing me at that moment. It was such a powerful idea. The face they would have seen was indelibly etched on my memory. Every now and then since, when looking at myself in a mirror, I've remembered that moment and imagined I'm staring back at my adolescent self. Not only do I believe I can see him, but I can recall seeing me when I was him. What if I could somehow communicate with him? I could change the course of history. But then I wouldn't know that I had. There would be no glory. Fuck it. Right, let's begin. Here's our first act. Michael Shall.
So today I was looking out the window at the garden and I noticed there was it looked like a big piece of bread in the middle of the lawn. And I couldn't work out what he was doing. So, and I couldn't really see because I didn't have my glasses on. So I asked the kids, was it their fault? Well, I didn't actually ask them because I didn't think they'd do that, but I looked at them, and then some paranoia started to set in as the, head of the family. I thought, I better go and investigate. So I went into the garden, and as a paranoid man, I started getting a bit paranoid. And I started to think, had someone was it a deliberate campaign? Was it the beginning? This lump of bread signified something deeper, some sort of aggressive act that was going to go on and ruin my life and my family's life, and never mind the garden. And all this paranoid stuff was going around. And I couldn't work out why there was a lump of bread on the middle of the lawn and it looked ugly. So I thought, well, I've got a camera because I'm paranoid, so I'll go and have a look on the tape. So I rushed inside and looked on the tape, but I didn't know which bit of the tape. So I went back 4 hours and I was looking at, and I couldn't see anything. And I thought, this isn't going to work. And then suddenly, I saw the perpetrator, and it was a crow who dropped the bread on the lawn and couldn't carry it because it was too heavy. And I just wasted 4 hours of my day and more or less accused my kids, and had a deep sense of paranoia throughout, but it was all worth it in the end. That's how the paranoid survive. Cheers.
And now, Jenny Collier.
Take that dress off.
It's not strictly a dress, it's like a hoodie and thermals and...
Take that fucking dress off now.
Fine, but I haven't shaved my legs.
I reckon we should just all be free to grow all our hair all the time.
Yeah!
Yes! The greatest response ever. I'm never going to get that outside of Wales. Okay, I know we're way late in the year, but I reckon we should start 2019, right? Let's just start off with just like January. Just for everything. Then you've got February. March hair. April. So all your body hairs are freaking 8. Oh my god, it goes even harder in May. May, I tell you I'm covered in my hair. Do you know I'm a hairy woman? Do you like hairy women? And then August could just be like, August.
Next, Chris Timoney.
Day 1. Crowded trains again. We're being held outside the city waiting for a driver, and I'm going to be late. I asked someone to move their bag off the seat and they make a big thing of it. Hope the driver isn't commuting by rail. We'll be here forever. I get into work late. All my meetings have been cancelled. I catch the news. Angry politicians and another flu scare hits Asia. It's my turn to cook tonight. Chicken Kievs. Day 2. A young family boards the train wearing Disney surgical masks. The newspapers say the flu is now spread to Europe and shops are running out of toilet rolls. A young man tries to get on the train but is pushed off for coughing. I look over at the door and it's the young family. A meeting has been called in work. The virus is now spread to the UK and we are all working from home effective immediately. We're having couscous for dinner tonight. Would 36 toilet rolls be enough? Day 3. No trains. No newspapers. I find myself in a shop looking for toilet rolls and chicken Kievs. There's nothing. I grab what I can. Nothing but couscous, white sauce and dog food. Looks like we're having lasagna for dinner again. It's now £40 for hand sanitizer and 15 quid for dog food. I bag everything up and run out the door without paying. The number of people affected has doubled. They've shut down the pubs, the clubs and the cinemas. I fill up the bath with water. 24 rolls left. Day 5. Power cuts. Might be national. There's no way to tell. There's no internet, no TV, no phone networks. Our neighbours told us they heard a rumour that there was a Tesco's a few miles away that was still offering chicken Kievs and shelter. They left under the cover of darkness to avoid road bandits. We never saw them again. So we ate their pet rabbits that they left behind. 6 rolls left. Day 6. A deafening smell of chicken Kievs. I wake up staring at a bowl of couscous. Just a dream. My daughter asks me what a chicken Kiev is. I can't remember. They had them in shops once. She asked me if a chicken Kiev might still be in one of the shops. I tell her there are no shops, and there never will be. No rolls left. Day 7. We avoided a party of armed raiders by hiding in a burnt-out ice cream van. They were using the megaphone to offer meat from toilet rolls from the back of a truck. I've seen how this goes. Once we were safe, my daughter asked me what a toilet roll was. I told her it was like lots of soft paper wrapped around a small amount of hard paper. She asked me what paper was. I held her and we both wept. Day 8. It's not safe here anymore. We mostly stick to the back roads now and only ever venture out at night to hunt. My daughter made her first kill today. It was messy, but we were hungry, and its owners were a long, distant memory. Later that day we saw one of the raiders bring down his face mask to have a smoke while he stared at the sun. Realising the horror of his error, he took his own life when no one would give him any hand sanitizer to wash his face. I watched them burn the body from behind the curtains. I was envious of his cowardice and felt bad for enjoying the smell. We haven't heard any children or birds for days now. I tried to enjoy a warm can of Guinness that I'd been saving for my birthday, but everything tastes of ash. We saw an empty train on the tracks, and I cried. We have to go now. They're coming.
Next, Suchandrika Chakrabarti.
So for the moment, coronavirus has really changed how we live our lives. It's like all the rules of society are getting rewritten, and we're sort of fumbling our way through the etiquette of it all. Luckily for me and for you watching this, a delightful virus-related email was sent my way last week. Yes, you're looking at it. So the context is that my friend, who's a doctor and working incredibly hard right now, as you can imagine, she's getting married in Italy in late July. Her in-laws are from Sorrento, down in the south near Naples. At the moment, they're still going ahead with the wedding as planned. So the happy couple sends out these invitations, only they get one email address wrong. The wedding invitation ends up getting sent to a random person. Now, some people have said, when I put this email out on social media, that this reply is rude. I completely disagree. By sending such an outstanding response, the randomer actually flagged up to my very overworked and tired friend that she'd got one email address wrong. Once she knew she could sort it out, so I think it's a very polite thing to have sent. But more than that, this is the kindest email that I've ever seen, because the random person went to a lot of effort to bring joy to the person who sent it, who's clearly a harassed bride-to-be just getting some wedmin done, and as the writer couldn't have guessed, in between saving lives. So let's go through it. The opener. Brah, who is this? Then 10 surprise face emoji. Well, what a start. Yes, it is surprising to be invited to the wedding of strangers. This could only happen in a digital age. Great writing. Really brings that moment to life. Love it. Then this bit. I'm not finna go to Italy, dude. Corona be vibing. Obviously, Corona be vibing is a wonderfully concise explanation of the current situation. But we shouldn't let that life-alteringly brilliant 3-word phrase overshadow what comes before it. I'm not finna go to Italy, dude. Well, I had to look up finna on Urban Dictionary, and it means fixing to or planning to. So basically, this person is unkeen to make plans to go to Italy. It's fair enough. I get the impression that the writer of this email is much younger and cooler than I am, And they've taught me a new word. Then they sign off with, have a good wedding. That's just nice. This person has manners. Then, wow, they invented a meme just for this one very specific occasion. The posh venue in the background with the double staircases, perfect for a destination wedding. The superimposed person who looks like a negative, as if they were photographed just at the moment they saw an atom bomb go off. Amazing. This is exactly the kind of post-pandemic situation that could be facing us in Sorrento. I love this glimpse into the writer's imagination. And then, simply, the word no. If we hadn't already got the gist of the RSVP up until this point, well, we've got it now. Sadly, our new anonymous friend will not be making the journey to Italy in late July to join the wedding. And we know the reason why, because Corona be vibing. Still, I really think we should invite this random person to the hen do at the very least. It's in May, so it will probably have to take place online via Zoom video calls. I mean, we've all been doing it by now, haven't we? Those drunken Zoom calls with too many people on our screens. That's how we spend our evenings in the age of Corona lockdown. So what else can we do? The pubs are shut. So, an online hen do. Now, how would that work? Your standard in-person hen do mainly requires booze, major friendship rivalries, and some angry crying in a dark corner to really get going. So it'll be difficult trying to get into that spirit when we're all drinking separately on our sofas. I mean, do we just send the stripper round to her house to do his socially distanced routine outside her window? How naked can he get before the police arrive? Or can he close the gap between them if we sent along a GoPro and maybe an industrial size vat of hand sanitizer? I mean, there are so many questions. These are very new problems and I'm not sure where to find the answers. That's one thing I will say about the coronavirus, which is, as we know, vibing. It's ushered in a brand new age where all the rules are getting rewritten and we're forced to become very creative. And as a creative freelancer myself, I'm going to have to work out how to live on no money. It's an exciting time. I'm not sure I'll ever reach the heights of that email, but at least now I know just how high I have to aim. One day Corona will no longer be vibing. I'm finna for this hen do and this wedding to be vibing instead. Good luck to us all.
And now, Patrick Hearn.
Well, hello, Jester Jesters. No, that's a shit start. Well, welcome. Welcome to the. Is that what I'm looking at the camera? So this is a strange situation to be doing stand-up comedy. 1, sitting in my chair. 2, I'm in my own house / prison. I don't know. This is quite a strange scenario for me to be performing to this camera, just silence, rather than in Jester Jesters to a silent room of surly stand-up comedians. Yeah, I've been indoors now for a few days, been stuck in the house. It was weird the last few days of being out. You could see like anytime anyone coughed anywhere in the street, they'd just get people would look around and look furious at them. It's bothered me a bit because I've always felt that the cough is a second class expulsion of air to the sneeze, because whenever you sneeze, people say bless you. They're not even priests. They'll bless you for sneezing. And if you cough, which is a much more unpleasant thing to go through, you just get nothing. You just get silence, or now you get hate. And the sneeze as well, like it's supposed to be something like 1/10 of an orgasm. So you're having like a mini orgasm and then getting blessed by strangers. If you try to have a full orgasm in public, they don't react quite so well. But I have started saying it during sex or after sex. Anytime either of us, or just when I'm on my own, come, bless you. But I'm doing fine here. I've got plenty of supplies. Yeah, I'm rolling in it. Look at that! So much toilet roll. Fuck. It's weird. Anything I've written before the coronavirus crisis, the bat flu crisis, it sort of all seems trivial. I've tried to watch movies on Netflix, but apart from Contagion, which is about a virus that comes from bats and then infects the world and then causes a complete global shutdown, all the other movies, there's no jeopardy, because I don't know, like, oh, they're going to blow up this. Who cares? Who cares? The world's ending. So I found it very difficult to watch anything that's set in the world that's meant where I'm meant to care about it, which turns out is most movies. So it's just me in the flat on my own. I'm not completely on my own. I actually have 2 ferrets. This is Jim. They're good little pets. They're domesticated, although I'm not sure anyone's told them that. It's effectively, they're just like a wild woodland predator that I've trapped in my house. Very cute, as you can see, but they are also fundamentally evil. They are the only other mammal that gets the same strain as flu as us. So right now, all of the coronavirus scientists working on developing a cure are sacrificing these cute little animals to find it. So these will save humanity. I don't think they'd be completely happy with the sacrifice. I think they'd be quite happy if humanity died. I'll tell you a little bit about ferrets. So the way the polecat, which is the wild version of the ferret, the way they hunt in the wild, they find a rabbit warren. They go into the rabbit warren. They catch the rabbits. They bite them on the back of the neck, paralyze them. They drag them in, and then they live in that rabbit warren and keep a living larder of paralyzed rabbits to feed on until they've eaten all the rabbit, and then they move on and find another one. They are pure, unadulterated evil, and that's why I love them.
And now, Sheraz Yousaf.
TV's getting the shit beaten out of it by YouTube, just like when Drago beat the shit out of Apollo. But it turns out people will watch TV if you put nice looking absolute cunts in front of them. Yes, Love Island has the highest ratio of cunts on TV at the moment, topping even the cunts in Mrs. Brown's Boys,
hello, boys!
Miranda, and Citizen Khan.
That's got it!
Now, it's all very well knowing about these cunts, but let's not forget the rich tapestry of historical cunts that came before them.
Many millennia ago, cunts roamed the earth in a more natural, artificial environment.
I want to ask you, Nick, how can you do that?
Over the decades, they began to evolve into even bigger cunts, and the arguments evolved with them.
You seem to have a problem. You get very aggressive. Nobody gets one sentence into an anecdote with you before you take it over and turn it into an anecdote about you.
Revered cunts of the past turned out to be the same kind of cunts that we see today.
You've not hit a girl! You've not hit a girl!
Indeed, old fossil cunts turned out to be direct ancestors of the modern day cunt. I give you Cunt Park.
Big Brother was on our screens 20 years ago. A lot of kids grew up watching it. What are those kids doing now? They're watching the same cunts that they were watching then, except now there are more tits.
Fuck's sake, what is it going to be?
And we can see exactly the kind of cunts watching this cunty programme. Look at Matey's Instagram, 2.6 million followers. Scroll through them and you can just see millions of cunts. Cunts everywhere. Cunts galore. You're going to have to face it. If you watch Love Island, then you are the cunts. More than the cunts on Love Island themselves. You are the one that wants to watch them being sick into each other's mouths. You are the ones that want to see them argue over who gets which dick and who gets which fanny. You made them, you're the viewer, you are the cunts.
I absolutely detested it. It was the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
So you've left me no choice. There was nothing else I could do. I had to write a song about you. Okay? Ready? You are cunts. You are cunts. You are cunts in no way small. You are massive cunts. Stupid cunts. You are cunts to top them all.
You are cunts. You are cunts. You are cunts in no way small. You are massive cunts, super cunts. You are cunts to top them all.
You are cunts.
You are cunts.
You are cunts.
You are cunts.
You are cunts in no way small. You are massive cunts, awful cunts. You are cunts to top them all. You are cunts, effervescent cunts. You're the greatest cunts of all. You are cunts,
big cunts,
generational
huge cunts.
You're the greatest cunts of always. You are cunts. You are cunts. You are cunts. Anyway, enough of that stupidness. I've got the real David Attenborough here. So, Dave, can I call you Dave?
I would think so.
Dave-O. I think the question everyone wants to know is, do dinosaurs still exist?
By and large.
Really? But in how many numbers?
In big numbers.
This is amazing. Where are they all then?
North Pole and South Pole.
Oh, right. That's surprising. But what do you think of my dinosaur question?
Stupid.
You're stupid. You and your programs are all stupid. Everyone's sick of your nature. No one wants to see it anymore. It's all about Love Island. Didn't you know that?
And finally, Declan Kennedy.
All this week at Hirsute Chopper, 30% more hair absolutely free. Lamb shank with a full imperial beard, still only $7.99. Pork sausage with full luxuriant bouffant, $4.99. Strawberry pavlova with bubble perm, $5.49. Individual pork pies with handlebar moustaches, $3.99, or 2 for £3. I've never seen so many follicles and foodstuffs under one roof. Bacon with Hoxton fin, iceberg lettuce with a mullet, sushi with a quiff. Search our high street competitors. If you find any hairier for these prices, we'll immolate our firstborn. That's the solemn price promise we've made at Hirsute Chopper. Hello, is that your face, or did you wear it for a bit? Could I get 2 minutes? Sorry, what did you say? Certainly, sir. Which toppings would you like? Yes, sorry, I was wondering about the special offer. Well, it's a third off all toppings of the month, and half off if you have cheesy jalapeno bites, family serving of garlic bread, or gay-fired pizza. Gay-fired pizza? Yep. And what goes into a gay-fired pizza? Mozzarella, pepperoni, spicy beef, green peppers and onion. Doesn't sound especially gay to me. What makes it gay-fired? Well, it's wood-fired pizza, but in a gay oven. There's no such thing as a gay oven. Well, what's that over there then? That's a normal pizza oven on which you've put leather chaps, a big moustache and a signed photo of Judy Garland. Hence, a gay oven. No, what that is, right, is an oven which you have, at best, attempted to turn, somehow, into an extremely lazy stereotype. It's a ludicrous notion, as pizzas aren't even gendered, let alone sexual. Au contraire. What about our manly meat feast? Really? Right there on our menu. What's in it? Mozzarella, pepperoni, spicy beef, green peppers and onions. So in actual fact, this is the same as the gay-fired pizza, except you've crudely drawn a willy on it in barbecue sauce. Drizzled. We've drizzled a willy on it. Well, in any case, this just seems to be another idiotic stereotype. Well, that is the name of the shop, sir. What? Idiotic, childish stereotype pizzas. Oh. Oh, well, in that case, could you deliver them? Yeah, if you cover your face. What? About half an hour, sir? On this day, in 1975, the wind shortage hit Britain. Volunteers blew hard around the clock on a special rota, but many galleons were still becalmed. In 1982, bread was declared insolvent. The baked dough-based substance had been indebted for some decades. Many sandwiches were repossessed. In 1954, Drambuie reservoirs were seriously depleted after a very drunk summer. People were advised to go to their local Drambuie pools or share a Drambuie bath. In 1974, the government officially made wig driving a criminal offence. The number of people wearing a wig whilst at the wheel had reached an all-time high. Binge wigging had become a huge national problem. In 1984, Parliament came out of summer hibernation early. In 1992, a sherbet tanker ruptured in the Atlantic. The local ecosystem was fizzy for weeks. Hundreds of volunteers on the eastern seaboard spent 3 weeks sucking it off gulls. In 1999, it was National Quizzical Day. Or was it? In 1876, George Stephenson incurred public outrage by allowing his first locomotive engine to operate without formal evening wear. The king's own personal retinue forcibly attired it in a cravat. Rob, hey, how you doing? Not bad, Dan, not bad. Like your hair. Thanks, just had it neutered. Yeah, looks really sexless, shiz bud. How's Tanith? Good, really good. Did you guys move in the end? Actually just signed the lease on a new flat. Oh, that's great news. I knew you were keen on starting a family. Needed more space. Well, we actually learned that, Tanith had a problem with her ovaries. Oh, mate, I'm so sorry. Not sure what. Think they were region 2, or we need a 3-pin adapter or something. Still water under the bridge. We looked into other options, and now we're proud parents. Congratulations, Rob. IVF? No, we wanted an iPod dock instead. No, I adopted my pockets. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, 2 lovely bouncing boy pockets. Cargo pants, lovely blue lining. Was that, difficult? No, the agency came back to us pretty quickly. Apparently a lot of pockets get abandoned at this time of year. You do know you can adopt kids. Yeah, but you can't get much loose change in a kid. We did try, but they could only get an iPod in for 10 minutes before they had to sick it up again. Yeah, babes? Alright, yeah, on my way. Sorry, dude, gotta go. Our pocket sitter's fallen through. On this day, in 1972, the last annual bridal steeplechase ran at Market Harborough. 12 brides in harness completed several laps. 32-year-old Annie Hamill tripped over her own dress and broke her wrist. She was humanely destroyed. In 1981, RAF Fylingdales was host to a mass frowning protest. It largely passed without incident, apart from a small group who escalated to a scowl in full view of the police. They were tasered and pepper-sprayed to whimpering. In 1979, clouds were allowed into Parliament for the first time. In 1990, the cross-channel hammock was finally strung between Kent and Calais. In 1968, a sham happiness ring was smashed. The criminal gang who operated out of Hammersmith were peddling adulterated joy cut with washing powder. In 1957, Chesmond Dollis became the first recipient of a blandness transplant. Doctors diagnosed a case of terminal liveliness which did not suit post-war austerity, and he received his newfound mediocrity from a donor who died during a hymn. In 1986, Sesma Collids made headlines as a sensational pension fund embezzlement case drew to a close. So total was public outrage that even his clothes and hair received lengthy sentences. In 1985, the last gin mines closed in Nottingham. Old-style fossil gin had long since been superseded by renewable wind-powered gin. In 1978, the whole of Rill won Sportsman of the Year, though it was later discovered to be a clerical error. In 1991, encephalograms showed that Big Ben had entered a state of deep REM sleep. Scientists hailed this as a great breakthrough, adding, "We must keep Big Ben in a state of dormancy, for should it regain consciousness, the consequences would be unthinkable." In 1991, pram jackings reached an all-time high. Disaffected youths on housing estates would target the children of richer families, climbing into their pram or pushchair and hijacking their entire childhood. In 1965, thousands flocked to the one and only outing for the Battenberg Ferry. Made of different materials in each quarter, it lasted 13 seconds in the water. Very tipsy, not so sober, lolcats. Very tipsy, not so sober, lolcats. Very tipsy, not so sober, lolcats. Yes, just off the A4 near Turlington Roundabout, Simon Barton's Drunk Pets Wholesale Outlet. Hundreds upon hundreds of inebriated domestic animals. Look at this cat. She's been banned from driving. The judge gave her 100 hours community service. She was that drunk. 10 points on your license, kitty. This dachshund not drunk enough for you. We will breathalyze the pets in front of you. And if they're not hammered, we will feed them shots of tequila. Simon Barton's Drunk Pets Wholesale Outlet is nothing but drunk pets. Thousands upon thousands of drunk pets. All drunk, all the time. Dogs, cats, parrots, gerbils, snakes, lizards. Pissed out of their minds on a non-stop bender. Simon Barton's Drunk Pets Wholesale Outlet. On the Kim Jong-un Trading Estate, just off the A4 near Turlington Roundabout. Remember, If it ain't drunk, it ain't one of our pets.
Thank you everyone for watching episode 1. There'll likely be another episode next Monday, released at 8 p.m. Thanks to everyone who participated. The show we usually do on Mondays is free entry, but we always ask for any donations towards the night. Obviously that's very low priority at the moment, but if you were interested, please head over to jesterjesters.com. Anything we get, we'll split that pound over our contributors. See you next week.